Hi, it's Glenn Macy from Lonsdale Marine and RV Centre. We're here to talk to you today about full off-grid Victron systems that we can put into your caravan so that you can get out into the middle of nowhere and still have a bit of AC power to run some stuff. We're currently in a NDC 19 foot 8 Westbourne full off-road. Anything in 18 foot 6 and above we can get one of these bigger systems into. The more panels we can get on the roof, the better off we are with the system. So it's just something we need to talk to about with each customer and find out what their expectations are and work out how we can meet those expectations in the right manner. So basically we can set a caravan up with a single lithium power pack under the bed or under the seat, somewhere tucked away, meeting all the new regulations. That particular power pack, the one that's in this van's custom lithium from Queensland. Our other option is to go into custom made boxes that we have, that we can have put on the chassis when the chassis is built, and put in a pair of 300 amp hour power pole lithiums out of Melbourne. These two styles of batteries literally have very high output amperage. The custom lithiums, you can run 360 amps out of them continuously. The power poles 280. They are unlike all of the drop-in bought lithium batteries that don't have that sort of amperage draw, so we can get a lot better quality AC out of these batteries without them causing an issue. The systems themselves have to be specifically designed to be able to put literally as much power back into those batteries as fast as possible the moment you get sun. So what people don't quite grasp is the huge amount of power AC pulls out of a DC battery, and to put that back you need literally double the amount of solar panels on the roof in wattage as there is in amperage in the battery storage. So this particular unit is running a 620 amp hour lithium battery, and we've only managed to get 1050 watts of solar on the roof. It will hold its own, but in conditions where the sun's not at its peak, it will slowly start to drop in available storage over a period of days, like 10 days. It'll probably slowly stop in the amount of storage you can get back into it. And that's what people don't quite understand. That's what we're here to try and teach them. So when you come to see us at the shop, or you talk to us at a show about your caravan and being able to put one of these systems in, we're both trained, our technicians here are both trained, and myself, to Victron install and do it in the right manner with the right kind of cabling and the right kind of fusing. So we've been trained to do this sort of thing properly. We can either sit down with you if you're buying a new caravan and have your new caravan set up all integrated, or if you want to retrofit this into an older caravan that you love, you don't want to get rid of it, you want to keep it forever but you want to go off grid, then we can sit down with you and work out what your wants are, what your needs are, and work out how we can retrofit this sort of system into your older caravan, which we've done on quite a few now. So the Victron board, this is an Horizon Victron board that we have upgraded to be bigger than the standard. Their standard boards don't quite meet what we call a high standard. So we've upgraded both solar controllers to 100 by 50s. They come with their own separate circuit breakers, PV1 and 2. So the solar system's individually circuit breakered. The Orion 30 amp smart charger. So when you're plugged into your car, the Orion DC-DC charger will kick in, and you'll also still get your solar powering into the fuse panel, the red fuse panel below, which is a buzzbarred fuse panel. So all the power goes into that panel and it all feeds straight in this custom lithium battery. So while you're driving along, you probably have the ability to pump in with this system in full sun somewhere around 100 amps. All the standard units, BM Pro, Projector, Red Arc, their standard units only max out at 30 amps. So after you put 2 solar panels on the roof, you can't put any more on, it doesn't make any difference. It won't put any more power in any faster. This particular unit could max out on 130 amps. It probably won't ever quite get there because there's only 5 panels on the roof. So one of those 50s will probably only make around 30. So maxed out, like I said, around 100 amps, which is pretty high for this sort of system. And then if you're plugged into shore power, the Multi Plus 2 can put in up to 120 amps into that battery. So it'll charge that fairly quickly from flat. You've literally got everything's fused in the correct manner. This battery protect system, fuses for all the lighting, fuses for all of the stuff coming in from outside, everything going into the batteries individually fused. You've got the Victron shunt. Yeah, it's all done correctly with the right kind of wiring. So literally this is the upgraded Explorer Plus system. We've upgraded it to be bigger down under the bed, but this is the touch 70 screen. So on this particular screen you can turn your water pump on and off, have it on auto or off, on. You can adjust the current level. So when you're in a caravan park you want it to be 15 amps. When you're plugged into the house at home, the house can only put in 10 amps, so you can actually adjust this so that it only will put in 10 amps and it won't damage any of the fuses on your house. And you can turn your inverter onto charger only, which is just gone to charger only, or you can turn it to inverter only, or you can turn it off and it'll take out, everything will shut down. We'll turn that back on because we're going to do a test in a minute. This shows you your DC system from battery, PV power in from your solar panels, the AC load out, your battery percentage level, your water tanks here, and your wastewater, which is your grey water tank level. So it's all integrated into this Victron system. So just again, so you can see what this system actually can do, we're going to turn the air conditioner on to heat at 30 degrees. We're going to whack on the kettle from inside in the lunchroom, and we're going to whack a cup of water in the microwave on for a minute, heat that up. I might be able to do that a bit longer, and we can probably go and have a look and see what it's doing on the screen. So as you can see on the screen, we're drawing 3,770 watts around that. PV's only putting in 400 and something watts, and we overpowered that, drawing too much power, and it clicked it out. So we were running 3 appliances at the same time, all high-end ones: air conditioner, kettle and microwave, and that's drawn more than the 250 amps allowed for on the main circuit breaker. So we're going to adjust that. We'll do 2 items and see you run that again. So we've now adjusted that. We'll leave the microwave off. We're going to boil the kettle, still run the heater on 30 degrees, and now that kettle will boil. But when we come back to look at the monitor, so the monitor is showing us that we're using minus 172 amps, 173, 174. So that's building as the kettle's getting hotter. So if we kick that microwave in now, that'll send that past that 250 amps ability of the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker will cut it out so that you can't fry the system. So we're still fully running, no power plugged in. This is all off grid on the solar system. The battery's still holding at 97%. The solar system's putting in 400 and it's changing a bit. That's about to click out that kettle, I reckon. But we're doing over 2,000 watts of AC load out of that battery at 180 amps. The whole system's using 2,280 watts at 176 amps. So that's pretty big. That's a pretty big thing to do on such a small system. That's all starting to drop in a sec because that kettle is going to click off. About to boil. There it goes. So kettle's boiled, aircon's still going on heat. We've dropped back down to 18.2 amps. So that kettle was pulling over 150 amps. AC loads back down to 140 watts, and now we're putting in more charge from the solar than what the aircon's using, and we're still at 96%. So you see, you can't run everything. You have to control what you run, one thing at a time with the aircon running. One major electrical appliance, because they draw such massive loads. We'll watch that again. What I'm going to do is turn the aircon off. So I've just put more cold water in so we can reboil the kettle. Leaving the aircon off. And I'm going to put 2 minutes on the microwave. And we're going to watch the panel. So straight away, this panel is showing us that the kettle and microwave together is using more than 315 amps. Let's actually drop back down a little bit. Be nice to see it go back under 300. There's 3,770 watts of power being used with one kettle and one microwave. And this is what a lot of people don't quite understand, is how much power these appliances pull out of a DC battery. But this battery is holding reasonably well. It's still at 95%. There you go, and those two consistently pulling more than 300 amps have clicked out the circuit breaker again. So that circuit breaker keeps saving an overdraw of constant power. So when it comes to high-end appliances like kettles and microwaves, it's one appliance at a time. So if you're in the market for an off-grid system, we're probably a little unique in that we're in a small group of individual companies within Adelaide that can actually do these systems in this kind of manner, in a retrofit scenario. And you're welcome to come along and see us at any given caravan show. We're at many of them. You can come down to the shop and have a chat. We can sit down and work out what you want, and then go about trying to make things good for you in the lifestyle that you want to have. When you talk to us about these systems, we actually use them in our own caravans. We go away off-grid, Port Gibbon, places like that, run our vans off the same sort of systems. We know how they work. We know what we have to do to get them to work correctly. So you can be comfortable knowing that you're talking to someone that actually does the job properly. We're at Lonsdale Marine and RV Centre, 30 Donegal Road, Lonsdale. Open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.